Ever found yourself feeling trapped, agreeing to something at work, in a relationship, or with family, only to later wonder, why did I say yes to that? What have I gotten myself into? Or, how did I end up in this situation? Picture this. You're juggling deadlines at work, trying to be present in your relationship, and keeping up with family commitments. Yet somehow, you end up feeling like you're not living the life you want, but someone else's version of it. It's the small things, a colleague's offhand comment steering you into extra work, a partner's subtle hint that pulls at your guilt strings, or a family member's expectation that you'll always be the one to compromise. Today, let us discover different tactics manipulators use on us and the Stoic strategies that will enable us to assert our own will, make choices that resonate with our true selves, and craft a life marked by authenticity and freedom. Here are 10 manipulation tactics and the Stoic defense strategies for each of them. 1. Playing the victim. In the intricate dance of romantic relationships, playing the victim is a manipulation tactic where one partner constantly portrays themselves as the wronged party, regardless of the situation. This strategy is designed to gain sympathy, shift blame away from themselves, and manipulate their partner into yielding or providing unwavering support. Imagine Alex and Jordan, where Alex always finds a way to be the victim. If Jordan expresses feeling neglected, Alex counters with how his own needs are always overlooked, overshadowing Jordan's concerns. This perpetual victimhood leaves Jordan feeling guilty for her legitimate feelings, constantly trying to console Alex rather than addressing her own needs. Stoicism, with its focus on inner virtue and personal responsibility, offers a path through this emotional minefield. It teaches us to recognize what is within our control, our actions and responses, and what isn't, like another person's behavior or self-perception. When faced with victim playing, a Stoic approach involves maintaining a clear distinction between empathizing with your partner's feelings and recognizing manipulation tactics. Instead of getting swept up in the drama, take a step back and assess the situation with objectivity and calm. Communicate your observations and feelings without accusatory language, focusing on I statements to express how the dynamics affect you. This Stoic strategy encourages open dialogue and mutual understanding, grounding the relationship in reality and personal accountability rather than guilt and manipulation. 2. Negging. Ever heard a compliment that stings more than it flatters? Welcome to the world of negging, a sneaky tactic where someone throws you a backhanded compliment designed to chip away at your self-esteem, making you hunger for their approval. Let's say you've been working on a personal project, putting in hours of effort and creativity. At a get-together, a friend comments, "It's amazing you're getting any attention for your work. Considering it's such a saturated market, you're lucky." It sounds like a compliment, but carries an insinuation that your success is more about luck than skill, leaving a taste of doubt about your abilities. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to negging. It teaches us the importance of self-validation and finding worth from within, not from the fleeting and often fickle opinions of others. When encountering negging, a Stoic perspective encourages us to question the intent behind the comment and to detach our emotional response from it. Recognize the remark for what it is, a manipulation tactic, and not a true reflection of your worth or abilities. By focusing on your internal compass and virtues, you can navigate these subtle insults with grace and confidence. Stoicism reminds us that our self-esteem should be rooted in our own judgments and achievements, not swayed by the underhanded comments meant to make us seek validation. So next time you're faced with a neg, remember, Your value is defined by you and your Stoic commitment to personal excellence and integrity. 3. Silent treatment. In the complex dance of romantic relationships, communication is key. But what happens when silence becomes a weapon? Enter the silent treatment, a manipulation tactic where one partner deliberately stops communicating or showing affection, using silence as a means to control or punish the other. This Cold War forces the receiving partner into a position of seeking reconciliation, often bending to the manipulator's desires just to break the silence. Imagine this. After a small argument, your partner decides to punish you by not speaking to you, ignoring your texts, and acting as if you're invisible. The silence is deafening, creating a sense of isolation and desperation in you. You find yourself willing to do anything just to end the silence and return to normalcy. But Stoicism offers a shield against this emotional siege. Stoicism teaches us to find contentment within ourselves, reminding us that our happiness and peace should not be dependent on the actions or affections of another. In the face of the silent treatment, a Stoic strategy involves turning inward, focusing on self-reflection, and maintaining inner tranquility. It encourages us to view this time of silence not as a punishment, but as an opportunity to practice self-sufficiency and emotional resilience. Instead of chasing after your partner's approval or giving in to their demands, use the silent treatment as a moment to reinforce your own values and independence. Communicate calmly and clearly when the opportunity arises, expressing how the silent treatment affects you and advocating for healthy, open communication as the cornerstone of your relationship. Through Stoicism, we learn that our self-worth and peace of mind are paramount, immune to the manipulative silences of others. 4. Feigned helplessness. Have you ever felt like someone's personal superhero swooping in to save the day, only to realize you might be getting taken advantage of? Enter feigned helplessness, a manipulation tactic where someone acts incapable of performing tasks, nudging you to jump in to help, but eventually take over. Let's set the scene in a bustling office where deadlines loom and coffee cups pile up. You're known as the go-to person, reliable and always willing to lend a hand. Enter Tom, a charming but perpetually overwhelmed colleague. Every week, like clockwork, Tom approaches your desk with a sheepish grin. "I'm just swamped, and I can't wrap my head around this client's demands. You're so good at this. Could you handle it?" Initially, you're flattered and eager to help, but as this pattern repeats, you begin to feel more like Tom's personal problem solver than his teammate. Tom shirks his responsibilities under the guise of admiration for your abilities. It's a clever ruse, one that burdens you with extra work while he avoids the heavy lifting. The Stoic principle of the obstacle is the way, encouraging us to view challenges as opportunities for growth, both for ourselves and for Tom. Instead of immediately taking on Tom's work, see this as a chance to mentor. Suggest working on the problem together, guiding Tom through the process rather than doing it for him. This approach serves two purposes. It helps Tom develop the skills he claims to lack, and it reinforces your boundaries, signaling that your willingness to help doesn't equate to taking on his duties. Embracing this Stoic strategy transforms a potentially frustrating situation into a win-win. 5. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a manipulation tactic where someone attempts to make you doubt your own experiences, memories, or perceptions, often to gain power over you. Imagine Sarah and Alex, a couple who seem to have it all from the outside. Yet, within their relationship, a subtle manipulation begins to unfold. One evening, Sarah expresses her feelings about Alex coming home late without giving her a heads up. Instead of acknowledging her concern, Alex retorts, "You're overreacting as usual. You make a big deal out of nothing." This isn't the first time Alex has dismissed Sarah's feelings in such a way, and over time, Sarah starts doubting her own reactions. "Maybe I am too sensitive," she finds herself thinking, her confidence in her own emotions eroding. To defend against this, Stoicism teaches us to build and retreat into our inner citadel whenever we face external turmoil or manipulation. This inner citadel is a metaphor for developing a strong, resilient core of self-awareness and self-trust. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and that your perceptions of the world are valid. You cultivate this inner citadel by practicing mindfulness, journaling, self-reflection, regularly engaging in introspection to understand your values, emotions, and reactions deeply. By doing so, you reinforce your sense of self, making it harder for a gaslighter's manipulations to penetrate your psychological defenses. Building your inner citadel doesn't mean becoming impervious to feedback or closed off to others' perspectives. Instead, it means cultivating a grounded sense of self that enables you to discern when your reality is being unjustly questioned. 6. Foot in the door technique. Have you ever said yes to a small favor only to find yourself completely overwhelmed by escalating requests? Welcome to the subtle art of the foot in the door technique, where your initial yes becomes a gateway for someone to ask for more, much more. Imagine agreeing to proofread a friend's one-page resume, only to be later asked to edit their entire job application portfolio. It starts small, but before you know it, you're more involved than you ever intended to be. In the workplace, this might look like agreeing to stay a few minutes late to help with a project, which soon morphs into regular late nights and encroaching on your weekends. Initially, it seemed like a small commitment, but the stakes keep rising. So, how do we navigate this slippery slope with a Stoic mindset? Stoicism teaches us the virtue of foresight and setting personal boundaries. When approached with a small request, it's crucial to pause and consider the bigger picture. Ask yourself, is this a door I'm willing to open? What are the potential future requests that might follow? This isn't about refusing to help. It's about understanding your limits and communicating them clearly from the outset. Applying this Stoic strategy of foresight allows you to offer help within clearly defined boundaries, ensuring you're not unwittingly signing up for more than you bargained for. It's about maintaining balance and respecting your own time and commitments while still being open to lending a hand. This way, you remain generous in spirit without compromising your own well-being and priorities. 7. Guilt tripping. In the dance of love and relationships, guilt tripping steps in as a heavy-footed partner, leading you through a routine you never agreed to. It's a manipulation tactic where your partner makes you feel overwhelmingly guilty to sway you into doing something, often reminding you of their sacrifices or efforts. It's like they're saying, "After everything I've done for you, you can't do this for me." Imagine you're planning a quiet evening alone to unwind, but your partner wants to go out. They say, "I've spent so many nights in just for you, and you can't spend one night out with me." Suddenly, you're not just making a choice, you're carrying the weight of their past compromises. Stoicism, with its focus on rationality and inner peace, offers a counterbalance. It teaches us to recognize our emotions without letting them dictate our actions. When guilt-tripping attempts to lead the way, Stoicism advises us to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, am I acting out of guilt or out of genuine desire? Stoicism encourages us to align our actions with our values, not out of a sense of indebtedness. In responding to guilt-tripping, communicate openly about your feelings and boundaries. Express appreciation for your partner's sacrifices without feeling obliged to comply with every demand. This Stoic approach fosters a relationship built on mutual respect and understanding, rather than obligation and guilt. 8. Triangulation. Imagine being in a situation where someone uses the opinions or actions of a third person to play mind games with you. This manipulation tactic is called triangulation. In triangulation, the manipulator brings in the perspective of another person, real or fabricated, to create tension or sow doubt in you. Picture this: you're part of a close-knit team at work, and everything's going smoothly until one day, your colleague, let's call him Mark, casually mentions, "You know, Sarah told me she's really not impressed with the way you've been handling the project." Suddenly, it's not just about your relationship with Mark anymore. Sarah's shadowy opinion looms over you, casting doubt on your abilities and stirring up unnecessary tension. Triangulation acts like a wedge, driving a divide between you and others by using a third party's supposed thoughts or actions. It's a manipulator's way of making you vie for their approval or second-guess your standing with your peers. So, how do we counter this manipulation? Stoicism teaches us the importance of direct communication and the pursuit of truth. If you find yourself caught in a triangulation scenario, channel your inner Stoic by seeking clarity directly from the source. Approach Sarah and ask her openly about her concerns, cutting through the hearsay and eliminating the manipulator's power to distort your perception of reality. This Stoic strategy fosters an environment of transparency and trust. By valuing honest dialogue over rumor, you protect your peace of mind and strengthen your relationships, ensuring that triangulation loses its grip on you. 9. Scarcity tactic. Caught in the grip of a limited time offer or a once-in-a-lifetime deal, you've just encountered the scarcity tactic, a master manipulator's favorite tool, designed to make us act fast, fearing we might miss out on something great. This tactic preys on our fear of missing out, or FOMO, urging us to make hasty decisions without considering if we truly want or need what's being offered. Picture this: you receive an email about an exclusive workshop with a renowned business strategist claiming spots are limited to 20 participants. The promise of an intimate setting and the chance to network with like-minded individuals is tantalizing. The clock is ticking, the slots are filling up, and you find yourself hitting the register button, driven by the dread of missing out on a potentially career-changing opportunity. Stoicism, with its emphasis on rational thought and control over one's emotions, offers a response to the scarcity trap. When faced with a scarcity-driven decision, Stoicism teaches us to pause and assess our true needs and long-term goals. Ask yourself, am I interested because of the opportunity itself, or because I'm afraid of missing out? Stoicism encourages us to focus on our internal values and goals, rather than being swayed by external pressures or manufactured urgency. By embracing the Stoic practice of reflection, we can see through the veil of scarcity, making decisions that are reasoned and aligned with our true needs. This Stoic strategy ensures that we are led by wisdom, not by fleeting desires or the fear of missing out, allowing us to live a life of true contentment and purpose. 10. Preying on reciprocity. Ever received a gift out of the blue, only to find out it came with strings attached? That's preying on reciprocity, a manipulation tactic where someone gives you something unsolicited, banking on your sense of obligation to reciprocate. It leverages the social norm that when someone does us a favor, we should return it in kind. Picture this: a co-worker who you know casually suddenly brings you coffee every morning for a week. You didn't ask for it, but hey, free coffee, right? By the end of the week, they're asking if you can cover their weekend shift. Suddenly, those coffees feel less like a kind gesture and more like a calculated move to get you to do something for them. So, how can Stoicism, with its emphasis on virtue and independence, shield us from this tactic? Stoicism teaches us to appreciate the intention behind gifts without feeling unduly obligated. When offered something, a Stoic would advise us to consider the gift freely given, with no expectations attached. If a request comes later, evaluate it on its own merits, not as a debt you owe. This perspective allows us to respond not out of guilt or obligation, but from a place of genuine willingness or reasoned refusal. By applying this Stoic principle, we can enjoy the kindness of others without falling into the trap of manipulated reciprocity, maintaining our autonomy and integrity in all our interactions. As we've journeyed through the shadowy paths of manipulation tactics and discovered the illuminating guidance of Stoic wisdom, it's clear that understanding these strategies isn't just about protecting ourselves. It's about fostering healthier, more genuine relationships and cultivating an inner resilience that no manipulator can undermine. Stoicism doesn't teach us to harden our hearts, but to fortify our minds, to recognize our worth, and to ensure that our actions align with our deepest values. If you've found value in this exploration of manipulation and Stoicism, share this journey with others who might also benefit. Like this video to support the spread of these timeless strategies, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into navigating life's challenges with wisdom and courage. Together, let's build a community that thrives on understanding, resilience, and genuine human connection. Your engagement helps us all grow stronger. So, share, like, and subscribe, and let's continue this journey together. Until next time.